Hello, everybody. Intuition here. Thank you so much for making some time and space for us. Today, we would like to talk about the idea of karma. Karma, such a novel, interesting, simplistic idea. For those of you who've never heard it before, lucky you, my goodness. We'd love to know what rock you've been hiding under so we could hide under it as well. But karma, the idea that what comes around goes around. The idea of good and bad, black and white, positive and negative, neutrons and protons, balance and out of balance. And we love the idea of karma. However, again, we have our own definition and an idea of what karma is, and it is not so simple as black, white, good, bad, right, wrong, indifferent. Because again, those are man-made, third-dimensional concepts. And when I say man-made, it's not principality-made. It's not based in the universal principality in that consciousness. It's based in an abstract thought process that is based in a third density lens from the personality filter and not the reality of the universal principality that you are and what really is at stake when you do something that's right or wrong, even though there is no such thing as right and wrong. And there is no such thing really as karma, at least how we see it. That is not to say that, again, another person's view of if they believe in karma, that they are wrong. But that is simply not how we see it. However, we would never take away your belief system if that's what makes you feel happy and good inside. So how we see karma is, again, the way that you see karma is a very simplified version of what really is happening as a universal principality. So again, we remind you that all of us, every single one of you, is a universal principality, that you are an extension of a universal principality, and there are 7 universal principalities, which means that you are all little lowercase g gods. You all help to create this planet and this universe in which you are now sitting in. And therefore, the idea of karma is really kind of silly when you know that you're a god and that you created this place to begin with. So how we see karma, if we're going to use that label, is more of the idea that when you do something bad, and again, there is no such thing as good or bad, it's more going in or out of balance with yourself. Every universal principality has a skill set or what it is that they're known for. Again, there are 7, so there is me, intuition. There is my divine significant other, resistance and resilience. There is evolution and de-evolution. There is life and death. There is order and chaos. There is wisdom and mistrust. We feel like we're missing one. And if we did, we're sorry. But there are 7 in total. If we miss one again, we apologize. However, all of the 7 has a different skill set, right? And that is it. Intellectualism and dumbness. That is the other one we forgot. Yes, sorry, guys. We were thinking too much about it. That's why. We were intellectualizing the 7. So that is the other one. And so therefore, when you, the universal principality that you are most identified with, move out of balance with all it is that you are, the universal principality that you are associated with, you start moving into another universal principality. And when you move into another universal principality, you start siphoning in their energy, taking in energy that is not yours. And just like the law of thermodynamics, all energy is recycled. But it's not just that it is recycled, it cannot be destroyed. It cannot be destroyed, and therefore it is returned and recycled to that of the originator, the original sender. So if you start overindulging in another universal principality's energy, what inherently happens is that this is where your idea of karma comes in. You are doing something bad. But again, it is not that you are doing something bad. You are just moving away from the balance in which the universal principality that you are, right? And you have those 2 balances. If you are intuition, your other balance is doubt, right? So intuition and doubt. But when you move out of those 2 things altogether and you move into, I don't know, maybe you start overindulging, and overindulgence is the aspect of life and death, right? If I start overindulging as intuition and I start eating pints of ice cream, or start drinking fifths of scotch every day, then guess what? I'm not only just physically overindulging, but I'm overindulging in another universal principality's inherent energy. And what happens is two things. As I take somebody else's energy and consume that energy, I'm taking that which is not mine to take. And it would be one thing if I take it and then therefore after I take it and use it, I release it, and then therefore it is allowed to return back to the originator in which I just took it from. But because we are in physical bodies and we don't really understand the concept of energy and the concept of taking another universal principality's energy outside of the idea of karma, then you do not know how to release energy in which you've siphoned that is not therefore yours. So what happens is when you overindulge, then the karma that comes chasing after you is not really karma, other than the idea of it is as it is the universal principle knocking at your door, wanting that energy back. So again, it is not that you did something good or bad. It is simply that you moved into an energy and then started siphoning energy that is not yours to take. And in you siphoning that energy and not releasing it, that universal principality has nothing left to do other than to come and get it. It is like the bank repoing your car. If you do not make car payments, but yet if you do not release the energy, i.e. releasing energy would be making the car payments on time because the bank owns your car and you took that energy, right? So if you're not making those bank payments, the bank is going to send somebody to get that car. And it is not because the bank hates you. It is not because the person that's coming to get the car hates you. It's simply that you did not give back the energy in which you were taking, and therefore they show up at your door or show up at the car and start harnessing it to their vehicle to start towing it away. And that is exactly what happens when you start taking energy that is not yours, and not just taking it, but releasing it, not releasing it. It is fine to take a universal principality's energy, so to speak, but when you keep on taking it, and not releasing any of it, not giving any of it back, that becomes problematic because you are taking their life source, so to speak, their energy, and again, you are not allowing them to have what is rightfully theirs because you are not also releasing it. So that, again, becomes problematic where the idea of karma comes in. What comes around goes around, and what is coming around and going around is their energy because they're taking the energy that you took and coming around to come and get it. So that is one thing that happens in this idea of karma. The other idea is you are lucky if the repo man simply goes and takes your car, and that is the end of that. I mean, you maybe don't consider yourself lucky, but quite contrary, there's another possibility that could happen when you siphon another universal principality's energy. So what can also happen is that not all universal principalities are quick on the uptake. Some universal principalities allow you to continue to collect their energy. And it's not good, bad, ugly, it simply is. But what happens when you continue to collect energy that is not yours is that you start over-identifying with that energy. And if you over-identify with that energy too much, you forget your own energetic vibration and your own energetic signature. And when you forget your own energetic signature and you start over-identifying and then therefore thinking that you are that energy as opposed to your own energy, when they come to take their energy back, you think that they are taking you and your energy with them, and you die, literally you die because you are not able to hold your energetic vibration. And because you are not able to hold your energetic vibration because you think that you are another energetic vibration, you when they deliver the death blow or when they are siphoning back their energy, you leave with their energy. And as you leave, you become disembodied because, again, you think that their energy is your energy, and therefore you leave with the body. But what happens, you leave the body to try and return back with the other universal principality's energy, but that other universal principality does not want you. They simply want your energy. They don't care if you've forgotten who you are, trying to be them for a day, take your son to work day, and then trying to act like you're the boss there. Absolutely not. They don't care what it is, what power trip or lack thereof power trip you're going through. They simply want that which is theirs. And it doesn't matter to them. It is of no consequence if you become disembodied, because they're about to become disembodied because you've taken so much of it is what it is that is theirs, their life force, and they are close to death themselves. So that is the idea of karma in a nutshell. Very quickly, a quick run through. But again, karma is not as simple as what comes around goes around. It is black, it is white, it is good, it is bad. It doesn't have to be good, it doesn't have to be bad. It's simply you overindulging in another energy that is inherently not yours, and which is fine until you don't release that energy. You just keep on taking, taking, taking. And again, you cannot take, take, take. You must give. And if you're going to give, you better be giving back the energy in which you took, because nobody wants your energy except you, most of the time. Even those that are caught in overindulging, drinking fifths of scotch or eating pints of ice cream a day, unless you are the universal principality of life and death, an individual principality that is not identified with life and death and therefore overindulging doesn't really want to overindulge. They're simply trying to find themselves. And they think that they could find themselves at the bottom of an ice cream pint. Silly over-identification with ice cream, but nevertheless, they think that they'll find themselves there. And they will find themselves there. They'll find an aspect of themselves there, because what will happen is, again, that universal principality will come for you after you're done eating that pint of ice cream, and you will find that as they are taking their energy away, that either you find yourself, because their energy is gone, it is siphoned away, and therefore you are in concert with yourself again, or you find yourself in the other way as you become disembodied and you are left with nothing but yourself. So either way, you will find yourself. You are absolutely correct. And that's why it is not good or bad. It is always within your preference, because it is a choice that you are making to over-identify with something. It is your choice to move into the idea of karma, because really, karma is just you reminding yourself of who it is that you really are, and that is not good, bad, ugly, and different. It might not be where you thought you'd end up after you eat your pint of ice cream, disembodied, but that doesn't mean that it's not your preference, because you made the decision. And if you made the decision, how could it not be your choice? How can it not be your preference? It's only not your preference if somebody was force-feeding that ice cream down your throat. But for most of us, that is not what is happening. So, the idea of karma is very simple. There is no such thing. But if you want to believe in it, then it is simply you taking energy which is not yours, which again is fine, but it does become problematic when you take, and don't give any of it back. So, if you are in the energy of taking today, Assalamu alaikum. Know what it is that you're getting into, and I hope, for your sake, that you give some of that energy back to the original sender, the originator, so that you can move back into balance with yourself and remember your own vibrational frequency and signature, so that when something comes bounding towards you because you took what it is that is not yours without releasing it, you're not surprised and in shock. What? The repo man is at my door, and I haven't been making payments on my car for 5 years, and yet here they are. I can't believe it. How could this be? Really? Well, allow yourself to be surprised. At least you are connected with the OG God Force, which is curiosity, if you're allowing yourself to be surprised by something so very obvious. And there's nothing wrong with that either. What a beautiful thing to be in concert with God, the originator, the real OG. So, we leave you in your karma, or lack thereof, and simply remind you to please return any energy that is not yours, so that you do not face fateful consequences that may or may not shock you. But even if you do face fateful consequences, how beautiful it will be, because you will be reminded of yourself, whether it's in the negative or the positive, whether it's through karma or through just the sheer universal principality that you are. As always, we thank you for making time and space for us, and we wish you well in your karmic adventures. Be well.